Hello and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper 2, and where we left off we started off the story and we are a sleeper robot thing who has escaped. So you're a person who's asleep somewhere and they use your robot to do work to pay off debt, and you just basically stay in a pod sleeping, and the sleeper robot works for you until you're finished, and then you can kind of like awaken again and like live your life. So is I think the basics of how it works. And we escaped and we had our brain kind of like rebooted, but it was caught by someone who we know as Laine, and they apparently saved us. I'm going to do air quotes there, saved us, because actually what they were doing is they like imprisoned us because we need this thing called I can't remember what they called it now. There's a substance that you need to keep your mind and body like going, otherwise it will naturally deteriorate. So they were giving us that, but they were making us work for them. We are now free, and we have a guy called Seraphim, I think he is, who saved us as well, and that we were both in like the same situation. So we're now in our ship called the Rig, and we have escaped. So that's where we left off. So, and I do have to read all of this stuff. So I'm going to read it out loud. Let me know what you think. If you would rather just me skip through it quickly, like I feel like we have to read it out. It's the story. This is the game, isn't it? Otherwise we'll just like whiz through it and won't have a clue what's going on. So, but let me know what you think. Sorry, I'll try and read it as best I can. Sometimes I just stumble over words and that though. So, as the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, its automatic systems nudged there by the port's docking protocols, you feel a sense of relief. Seraphim burned hard out of dark side, and you dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the Rig made its way across the belt. But now, with open space between you and Laine, you feel fresher and more awake. Okay, hopefully that has fixed the problem. We will see. But I do have the screen keep like flickering out every now and then for me, and it's only on this game. I'm not really sure why. Seraphim breaks the silence. We're good, sleeper. His eyes don't have the monitor. Ugh, let's try it again. His eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realise this part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked the ship countless times in your work with Laine. The problem is, you don't remember any of them. We made it, he whispered, closing his eyes and letting out a sigh. We certainly did, or stay silent. We certainly did. He turns to you and sees you see a pained look on his face, as if he's remembering something difficult. Have you said the exact thing to him, that exact thing to him before? In the same situation? Are you okay? Let's go. He looks at you, chewing one side of his lips, searching your face. Not really, he puffs. Seraphim reaches up, flicking through a set of switches in a practiced fashion, completing the shutdown. You watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the Rig, you realise is just another thing you've forgotten. A clunk then runs through the walls of the ship. It's followed by a short, percussive alarm tone from the pilot's console. Docking complete. Seraphim kicks off from the seat, twisting as he glides past you towards the back of the cockpit. His hands find the rails on either side of the door. He pauses, facing into the corridor beyond. He turns back to you, backlit in cold cyan. Cyan? We need a plan. He glances round. Laine's not going to let us slip away quietly. He sighs. We need to talk. We keep running. We hide here. We need to talk. I need to know stuff. Definitely. Seraphim furrows his brow. Not now, sleeper. We need to forget. He flinches, the words coming out wrong. We need to focus on something other than. He pauses again, unsure. Us? He sighs. We need to survive this thing first. Then maybe we talk. Fine by me. That isn't fair. Stay silent. And I'm going to stay silent for this one because I don't really agree. We've brought ourselves some time. He glances through the cockpit window at the blinking lights of the station. You may not remember Hexport, but I do. And there are plenty of opportunities here for us. We can keep our heads down. He turns back to the corridor. That's what we'll do. He pushes off and glides towards the main lock. You follow, pulling yourself along, hand over hand in 0G. We already emptied the tank on this thing. He slaps the hand against the ship's insides. So we need to refuel. That won't be cheap. But if you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work. I'm going to get myself reacquainted. See if I can turn up any old connections. People that might throw us an easy contract. You, glances back over his shoulder. You keep out of trouble. I'm going to go low profile, got it. Seraphin stops at the airlock. Stopping to reboot halfway through, he pulls a worn crew jacket from the locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. He jams his arm into the sleeve. I don't want you passing out he stops. I'll be fine? Seraphin drops his head, swearing to himself. He grabs another crew jacket, thrusts it at you. Just put the damn hood up, will you? He takes it. You take it and slip it on. Thank you. Seraphin nods. He stabs the buttons to open the lock. The inner door hisses open and Seraphin glides through. Wait for a little bit, then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people travelling together. He looks at you in the worn crew jacket, a limited disguise for what was clearly a sleeper. We'll meet back here later. Any trouble? Same thing. Meet here. He surveys your disguise again with a shake of the head. This is a shitty idea. He gives one last look. Maybe you'll find yourself something to eat. Suddenly you recognize Seraphin's instinct to look after you. A flash of a relationship now lost to the reboot. Catch. Seraphin throws a handful of something towards you. You manage to grab the projectiles. When you open your hand, you see a stack of cryo chits. These should get you some food. We'll need some more for fuel and supplies. He grimaces. That means odd jobs on the station for both of us. Seraphin kicks off and glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, alright? He shouts as he leaves. Take it slow! And with that, he's gone, leaving the connection bridge and heading into Hexport's docking concourse. You wait for a moment in silence. Let's make a plan. I'm a planner. You try and think ahead of what might be coming. You need work. That's the first step. But what then? Laine will be coming eventually. The sooner you can put some distance between you and Hexport, the better. So, that's the plan. Rest, resupply, and run. You shake their thoughts from your head and pull the jacket tight. Let's see what Hexport's got to offer. You kick off and glide into port. Okay, we're actually into some gameplay. Welcome to Sit and Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. The game runs in cycles, during which you can perform actions with your dice, use cryo to buy food, fuel, supplies and items, progress clocks towards new scenes and events. You can review tutorials at any time in the guide section of Portsmouth. Okay, so we're on the left, and we can either go Hexport Docks or Hexport Exchange. Busy way station docks or a way station goods exchange. Well, if we want food, I'm guessing we go to there first. In Citizen Sleeper 2, you perform actions by assigning action dice to them. The higher the dice you assign, the more likely you will succeed at an action. But your dice will be modified by your skill. Your skill modifier for the action is displayed on the right and will reduce or increase the value of the dice assigned to the action. like dice check, dice actions will have 3 outcomes: positive, negative, or neutral. Each action will also is also rated safe, risky, or dangerous based on the outcome it has. The more dangerous an action is, the more significant both its rewards and consequences are. For more information, dice actions are guides. Yeah, pause a minute. Okay, so we have trade scrap, impress the brokers, and that's it. So the data brokers are the heart of the exchange. They show off their knowledge by discussing description. Maybe you can talk. It's risky, but it's not dangerous. Should we try that? We do a 4. It's the highest we can do. 50% positive, visit 50% negative. I'm not sure if I want to do that just yet. Let's explore first. What about the Hexport docks? We have a risky and danger. Chat to crews. There's plenty of crews milling around the docks and moving cargo. They could be a good source of info. So if we do a high... that's not a great... I mean, it's better than the one before. What about like 2? 50-50. 50. So, right, okay, so you do get a higher chance using the 4 here. But then, oh, that's 50 neutral. Okay, let's leave here. Let's try the talk one, because there's a 50% positive and 50% neutral compared. So that's actually, you can't have a negative one from that. You've just progressed the clock. Clocks track your progress towards both positive and negative events. It can be filled by performing actions or cycles. Right. We just completed that action. The exchange buzzes with the conversation of commerce. This is place. Okay, so we can unlock an event by doing this one as well. Or doing this one again? No, this one says action complete. So we've done that. Okay, that's... Why do we have such rubbish dice? Is there any way we can... I don't know. Left stick, push in? I don't know. Is there any way we can, like, re-roll these? Because they're awful. Let's leave now. But we've done half of that one. Ooh. There's something more now. The export trade hall. I didn't see that before. Okay, so 5 cryo to buy fuel. 15 cryo to buy supplies. 25 to fill the fuel. We don't have enough, but we do have enough for food. I think that's what we want. We brought some supplies. I think that's good. We now have no money left though. So we're gonna have to do some stuff here as well, I think. I mean, it's risky because we can have a 50% chance of negative, but I mean, there's nothing else we can do, I don't think. What's that do? Let's see. Hey, we did it. Nice. Okay. So maybe we go back to... I mean... That's danger, that's the problem. We need better dice. I wonder if there's a way if we can go back to the... the rig is your ship and home in the Starward belt. While the rig is docked at the hub, There are multiple areas you can visit. Bunks, use dice to reduce stress. Galley, use supplies to regain energy. Other locations will unlock as you play. While the rig in the docks at the hub, your crew will also help you gather resources and contribute to upkeep of the ship. You can choose which resources they should focus on in the crew task menu in the left. They have a random chance of acquiring it at the beginning of the following cycle. So the clock is a cycle clock. This will progress towards an event each cycle it completes. Okay, so this clock is basically when Laine is going to get to us. Oh man, there's so much stuff going on, isn't there? There's a lot to focus on. So, where's our stress, actually? I don't really see. There's a character screen where you can upgrade and configure your sleeper. On the left, you can upgrade your skills, improve the skill modifier applied to your dice when you undertake an action. On your right, you can upgrade your push, the unique ability of your class. When upgrading your push, you can only upgrade... when upgrading your push, only one upgrade at each level can be active at once. You can configure the upgrade is active only while at a hub. Oh, okay, so you can have one or the other. We don't have any points available, so that's... I'm not seeing stress, though. Where's the stress level? It'd be really handy to know that, wouldn't it? To know if we need to, like, unstress. I think we probably want to end the cycle so that we can get some new dice and try and finish up. So I'm going to try that. Oh, I see. Way better dice. We're in trouble, Sleeper. Seraphim leans to the bunks as you're getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor towards the rear of the ship. You drift out of your passage, pulling on your clothes and gliding down the length of the rig. The cool air makes you shiver. Seraphim is a silhouette silently leading the way. He stops at the far end, diverting through a side door even, shooting you a glance as he does. You find Seraphim inside, holding a tangle of arm-thick tubes that are waving in 0G engine room. You know what these are? Fuel pipes? Seraphim shrugs. Close enough. These are the engine's feed lines. He waves one in the air. And before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be waggling loose. What happened? These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of Darkside. He looks at the mess. We are lucky the reserve tank is empty. Otherwise, he shakes his head. Would have been bad. But he pushes the pipes to the side. No feed from the reserve tank means that the rig's range is almost limited to the local region only. He thumps the large lumpen housing of the engine. This thing can't take us anywhere far. So we fix it? Seraphim sighs. That's the short of it. Seraphim whacks the engine housing again, harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. He turns and starts gathering tangled feed lines, his frustration evident with the violence of his movements. We will need a new set of these, that's for sure. He starts forcing them into a crate. So how about you try and track them down? I'll take a look at things here and see if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. From what I've heard on Hexport, Factory Row is the place you find ship fitters. Maybe you can do some recon while I sort this place out. It's on the other end of the station. Okay, take a look. Seraphim keeps working. Wait! Seraphim pauses, seemingly unsure. There's something else. He drops the feed lines and they float, waving in the air like tubular seaweed. I've heard word that Laine's on the hunt. He frowns. A message went out to everywhere in the local radius of Darkside. He's looking for us. We can't leave. Exactly. Seraphim sighs. Which is why we need those feed lines. I'm going to try and work something out. Maybe I can improvise the situation. I don't know. He looks down. I'm no ship fitter. But while I do, you go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? He smiles a weak smile. Get going. You leave the engine room, clanking sound of Seraphim cleaning up efforts echoing through the ship. Fuel feed lines. That's the next step. Take a deep breath and head out. Okay. You have discovered a drive. Drives help you track and choose your objectives in Citizen Sleeper 2. Arrow button on the top left opens the drive menu, where you can choose which drive to track. Once a drive is tracked, a yellow marker will be placed above any location it relates to that drive. Drives come in two types, major and minor. On completion of a major drive rewards 2 upgrade points and 1 minor reward. And a minor rewards 1. Keep an eye on the drive menu as you progress, see what new opportunities and objectives are available and track those you want to pursue. It's all very confusing, isn't it? Okay. So we have a new cycle. So if we pop out, Hexport. Right. So I think these are all still the same, right? No. Can I do this twice so that I don't have to... So if I pop... 3 is... gives us 4. 50% neutral, 25... You know, it's 75% chance of something okay happening. So I'm going to go for it and hope that we don't get the negative. Did that work out? I think that worked out. Okay, but we only got one thing for it. So I'm going to... Oh, damn. We don't have... We should have slept in the cycle. So 50% nutrient. We'll use the 1 for sleeping. Stress. Oh, it's not stress that I needed though. I need a meal. Boom. Okay. So now we have plenty of actions. Let's go back here. But we don't have plenty of dice. I think we can only do 2 more things. So let's do this again. And hope that it's enough to... Yes. So we now have filled the rules of exchange. I don't know what that means. A new location has been discovered. Okay, so we've finished that area, which opens up another location. Interesting. The canteen. We want to track that active thing which it told us about. And then we want to go to Factory Row. Try and search the row. Is risky. 50% positive, 50% neutral. Let's do that. Neutral outcome, so we only got 1. Damn, that's really annoying. We're now out of dice, so we have to go back to the rig and end the cycle. So we're going to do that. As you can see, the circle in the middle on the run, there's 1 red. I think when that fills up, we've been caught. So we have that time limit to get everything we can here and then finish it. So we're going to end the cycle. That was a quick cycle, to be fair. And we're now got a fresh set of dice, but we also lost some energy. So we need to keep an eye on that, and we need to keep supplies so that we can refill our energy when we need to. But I think that's probably enough for this video. I'm really getting to grips with the story at the beginning was just kind of like getting you into the kind of idea of what this game is. It's kind of very much like a board game almost, which I really love. I love board games, so the fact that you can play this sort of like board game style thing here is really cool. So we're gonna come back next time to see if we can get the fuel. We also need to get the fuel pipes. We also need to get more money and basically do some odd jobs. So there's a lot going on, a lot that we need to do. And as you can see, we're on the run and we've got a time limit. So we need to keep progressing forward, otherwise we're in trouble. And we still don't have a clue of our own name. We don't have a clue of like what we're doing really. So it's a really interesting concept. I'm loving the game, loving the style. Hopefully you are too. Let me know in the comments. And let me know if there's anything about this game that you'd like to see differently, like if you would like me to not read it out or something like that. I'm just very aware that there's a lot of me talking. So let me know. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you when I see you.